are going to make eggplant parmesan or something. I'm about to cut the eggplant.
Eli just picked me this gorgeous eggplant, also called an aubergine. Did you know that? In like England and some other places, they call these aubergines. Anyway, we're gonna make some eggplant parmesan. We've made this once before and it was really good. The first time I've ever liked eggplant at all. And Emma's in town from college, and so she didn't get a chance to eat the other one, so we're gonna make this for her. But the first thing you need to do with your eggplant is to slice it into 1/4-inch slices and then put salt on it and let it weep or something. The point is to get the extra moisture out of it, so when you fry it up and then put it in the pan, it will not be soggy and gooey. It'll be nice and crisp. So that's what we'll do next. Okay, I'm using a bread knife because it's serrated and I want this to be really neat slices. I'm right at 1/4 of an inch. Okay, now I'm gonna lay these out.
Also, video back.
I did already. And I'm gonna salt the front and back. The point is to draw out the liquid. We'll get the extra salt off of it in a little while. I'm using the Martha Stewart traditional eggplant parmesan recipe. And it was absolutely delicious. There are some that say you don't have to fry it first, but those ones didn't look as good, and they also didn't look any healthier. So I'm going with the traditional one. So the salt will draw out the extra water, and then we'll come and tap it off with some paper towels. But this is gonna sit for like 15 minutes. All right, the eggplant has been sitting here for about 20 minutes and you can see it's dripping water off. That's because of the salt. So I'm just gonna arrange these on this dish towel here and then roll them up or press the water out of them. And after those are dry, we're gonna batter them up. We have just plain flour, a beaten egg. I reused a bowl, so there's a little bit of garlic, salt, and oil still in there. And then this is just breadcrumbs. You can make your own from leftover bread or like the heels of the bread. And then I added some Parmesan cheese to that. So that's gonna be the outer crust. So the first thing you do, once your eggplant is really dry, you're gonna give it an extra dry step. Then you put it in your egg. And then you put it in your breadcrumbs. And then you're just gonna stack these up on an empty plate until you're ready to fry. All right, here's my last one. And I just barely had enough breadcrumbs, so I like that when everything turns out even. And then here's our stack, and if your hands look like this when you're done, you did it right. So you just barely coat the bottom of the pan and let that heat up. I'm just using a cheaper vegetable oil for this. There's 2 ways to test if this is ready. You can put this in there when you see bubbles. This is just a wooden spoon. That means it's hot enough, or you can just throw them in. That's what I usually do. So you're just gonna fry these on each side until they're nice and golden brown. These are the last eggplant. I have the rest of them draining on some paper towel. And while these are finishing, I'm going to start building the Parmigiana. If you've ever built a lasagna before, it's almost exactly the same. You're gonna start with a little bit of sauce. This is just some sauce that we canned recently. Martha's recipe will lead you through building making your own sauce. You don't have to do that. You can use canned sauce. She also says to use fresh mozzarella. You don't have to do that. So these guys can be overlapped just a little bit. And we're gonna take some shredded mozzarella. Just go right over the top of those. And then pour some sauce on top of that. And keep stacking a little at a time. It looks like we might just have room for two layers. Oh, they smell really good. I'm actually gonna switch up and do this on top. And then do the cheese as the last layer. And then there are little spaces in between the cheese, and I like to come in with some Parmesan. Again, you can use the fresh stuff or you can just use the green shaker. And there we go. And then maybe just a little garlic salt on top of that. This is going in the oven at 400 for about 20 minutes. I think I'll double check the recipe. Okay, I was wrong. It's 30 minutes. And it is getting really late. The people are getting really hungry, but it's worth waiting for. Okay, yay. See how it looks? Oh, gorgeous. Okay, it's bubbling. It's got some browning on top. That's good. So I'm gonna take it out and let it sit for like 15 minutes. We'll square like this. Take a bite for me. Thank you, Jesus.